So now I want to show you how to do the e-invoice submission. Okay, so as you all know, there are three types of e-invoice. Okay, first one is for the standard e-invoice, and then the second one is for the consolidated. Lastly, it's for self-bill. So now I want to talk about these two e-invoice. Okay, so for the standard e-invoice is for the buyer that require e-invoice. Normally is B2B, business to business. Okay, which is you on your side, you need to prove your income. Okay, but on the buyer side, they also need to prove their expenses. So they will request e-invoice from you. So you need to give them standard e-invoice. Okay, so for standard invoice is a normal invoice with QR code. Okay, so for this step, I will show you how to send the standard e-invoice first. Okay, for consolidated invoice, it is for buyer that do not require e-invoice. Okay, normally is B2C, business to consumer. Okay, but sometimes also got business to business that which is the buyer not require e-invoice. Okay, let's say your customer is a business but below 150, so they do not require e-invoice. Okay, so they will not share you their TIN information, so you can send them normal invoice. Okay, also for business to consumer, all the consumer is an individual, they do not require e-invoice, so you can send a normal invoice or normal cash sale. But at your side, you prove your income. Okay, so to prove your income, you need to console all the invoices, all the cash sales in that month, and then send at the month end before the 7 calendar days of the next month. Okay, clear? Okay, so now I show you the standard invoice first. Okay, so you just do a normal invoice lah. But let's say previously you do invoice at here. Okay, start invoice you cannot do here. Yes, because at here it didn't link with the MyInvoice portal. So you need to go to sales and then invoice. Okay, so you add new, say I go to this business. This is my customer, and then I sell some socks. Okay, maybe I sell 100 socks. Okay, save product and then save. Okay, you can see here is black. You can see the first two invoice is in blue color, but the invoice that I created just now is in black color. Okay, so at here, you can see the blue color means it's already validated. Okay, but the black color is haven't validated yet, means not yet submit to LHDN. So let's say I preview this first before I submit. So here we have a new format lah for e-invoice. So here you can see there is no what we call it, QR code. Okay. Okay, once you created the invoice like usual, where to submit it, there is a new function. You go to sales and then go to sales report. Okay, and then you can see bottom here, we have a new function at number 17, e-invoice document. So you click OK. So here is the portal where you submit the e-invoice. Okay, so here you can choose the document type. Either you want to submit invoice, debit note, credit note, cash sale. So now let's say I want to submit the invoice. Okay, so here show document by default is not sent yet lah. Okay, and then after send, you change to send. Or you want to see both, you click both lah. Okay, now it's not sent yet. And then you can set from date to date lah. Okay, this one I keep default. And then I click refresh. Okay, I didn't tick this one because I want to submit for standard e-invoice. So this is the invoice that we created just now. So how to submit? You tick this one and then you click send. Are you sure you want to send? Yes. Okay, record send accepted one. So now how I want to see either my document is valid or not. So you change this to send, refresh. Now you can see the first two document is already valid, but the document I just submit is show submitted. Okay. To see the document is valid or not, I need to tick and then I need to check status. Yes. So now after checking, it's changed to valid. Okay. So now once already valid, I need to go back to the sales invoice and then this invoice tree, I print and then preview. So now you can see, now my invoice already have the validation code. Okay, QR code. So this invoice, then you can send to your customer for e-invoice, so that when your customer scan this QR code, they can see this document already validated. Okay. Okay. So let us do another one. Let's say I want to post to individual. So let's say I choose this individual. And then I want to sell some flowers. The 20, no price. Save product, save. Okay, so how to submit? Go back to sales, sales report, e-invoice document, refresh, okay, 80 ringgit. Click send. Yes. Okay, now already sent. And then change to send, refresh, click check status. Yes. Okay, now it's valid. Okay, but let's say customer received the invoice and then she said, ma'am, the quantity that you invoice me is wrong, okay? I bagi dia 20. Okay, let's say I order 10 saja. Okay, so now once it's already what we call it validated, I cannot edit it anymore. So how I gonna do? I go to this sales report, e-invoice document, post, refresh. Okay, so let's say the customer want me to amend the invoice, but you cannot amend a validated invoice. So you only can cancel it. Okay, but the cancel must do within 72 hours, which is 3 days. Okay, so now I want to show you how to cancel the document. Okay, so you click this one and then you click cancel. So now the reason is wrong invoice detail lah. So let's say you want to put another reason like duplicate or wrong quantity. Okay, you can put here lah. Okay, and then you click OK. So this document will cancel at the LHDN portal. So now it's already cancelled. Okay, so you want to change back the document. You go to edit and then you change the quantity. Save product and then you save back. Now you need to submit again to LHDN. Okay, so it will not appear at not sent yet because it already sent. So you need to change to sent. Okay, refresh. Okay, now the document is already cancelled then. So you click again, you need to click send. Okay, send to submit. Now it's already submit, and then you click again to check the status. Now it's already valid. Okay, understand? Okay, so what if your customer want to cancel the document, but it is already exceed 72 hours? You need to do CN. So that's why you can add the invoice document there. You can choose either you want to submit CN or DN. Okay, so basically CN is to reduce the amount of invoice. DN is to increase the amount of invoice. So now, sorry. Okay, I will show you a few samples. Okay, one is I want to CN one document. I create another invoice first. Let's say under this name again. Sell him Samsung. Okay, so how to generate a CN? So you go sales and then you go credit note. Okay, you go credit note and then you click add and then you choose the customer code. So just now is this one. Okay, so where were we? Okay, I choose back the customer code, Korean, and then here you can put the invoice number lah. So let's say I want to CN this one lah, the 1002, the Samsung just now. Okay, and then you can generate the invoice. So I want to give, let's say I want just reduce the amount lah. Let's say I reduce 1000. Then save. Okay, 1000 and then save. Oh, reason. reason discount is given. Okay. Next, save. 1,000. Okay. So I give discount for this invoice 1,000 and then save. Okay. So you can see if I need to send the invoice first. Okay. So basically I really created the invoice can. So I want to submit to LHDN. Send. Okay, not send yet. Check the status. Okay, now it's already valid. So now let's say after 72 hours, only the customer want to change the amount. Okay, request for discount or cancellation. Okay, so I need to do credit note. Okay, so as you know, that credit note is to reduce the invoice amount and debit note is to increase the invoice amount. Okay, so actually for now, I want to create the CN. Okay, so I choose back the customer, go for yen. And then there are two ways. Either you want to do manually or you want to generate from invoice. So let's say I want to generate from here. Okay, and then you select the reason, maybe discount given, body, and then I edit the amount to 1,000 because I just want to reduce 1,000 ringgit. Okay, and then I click save. Okay, so now if you take the knockoff bill, you can see this CN is already knock off this invoice. So this invoice still have outstanding 200. Okay. So just now I show you how to do the cancel kan. Okay. I would advise you can use the cancel function if you can cancel it within 72 hours, which is 3 days, that you edit the invoice after you cancel and then you submit again to MyInvoice portal. So if you want to do that way, you can prefer that one lah. But if you want to permanently cancel the document, okay, means no issue, new document means the customer want to cancel the purchase lah. Okay, it's better to use the credit note. Please don't use the cancel function. The cancel function is within 72 hours and you want to edit document and resubmit, you can use that function. But if you want to cancel the whole document, it's better you use credit note. Okay. So just now I got submit the invoice, which is for this one kan 1,002. Okay, let's say the customer is want cancel the purchase. Okay, so if she want to cancel the purchase, so I go to credit note, add, and then I choose this customer. Okay, so there are two ways lah. Either you want to add manually or you want to generate from invoice. So now I want to use this function, generate. So you choose this invoice, tick off, okay, okay, and then go to body. Okay, means I want to cancel whole document lah. Okay, supply of goods is cancelled. Okay, so you click save. So once you click save, you can see this knockoff bill. This invoice already have no outstanding. Okay, it's already cancelled all lah. Okay, so this is how you want to cancel all the document. But remember that this credit note also you need to submit to LHDN. So you go to sales report, the invoice document, you change here to credit note, refresh. So this one also you need to submit to LHDN. So you click yes, and then you change to send, refresh, and then status. Okay, now it's valid. So this credit note you can send to your customer. Print, preview, credit note with GST e-invoice. Okay, never mind. I skipped one. Okay, so let's say you have you want to do CN and you want to CN for few credit notes. Okay, so let's say you want to CN for few invoices. Okay, you choose this customer. Okay, here you don't need to choose the invoice number. You just direct put the amount that they want to reduce lah. So let's say this 12, maybe. bucks, and then maybe this one is around 15. 5. Okay, save product. Maybe I put more lah. Okay, so I want to CN for these two items. Then I click save. Sorry, reason is discount given. Okay, so let's say I want to knock off a few invoices. Okay, so I tick dispose lah. Okay, and then I click save. So, okay. Okay, so let's say this document, I want to CN for a few invoices lah. Okay, because LHDN allow you to CN a few invoices. Okay, wait, let me submit first to LHDN. Change to CN, refresh, and then submit. And then send, check status. Now it's already valid. So when you preview back this credit note, print, preview. So you can see, just now you choose 2 invoices can. So at here, it will auto put invoice number, invoice 2, and invoice 3. So the median update now, you can issue CN for few invoices. Okay. And then here you need to give the CN with QR code to your customer. Okay. So understand now. So I repeat again for this part. So for the invoices that you want to edit, you cannot edit a validated invoices. You need to cancel first, okay? Which is you go to sales report, you cancel the document, and then you edit the invoice back. After you edit, you need to go back to the sales report, e-invoice document, and then you go to send column, and then you submit again, send again. After you send, and then you check status is valid, okay? So this kind of way you can use if you want to edit within the 72 hours. Okay, but what if it is already exceeded 72 hours? You need to do CN. Okay, so for CN, you can either want to CN one invoice or you also can CN few invoices. Okay, so you either can use this generate. Okay, when you use this generate, it will auto knock off the invoice lah. But if you manually put the item here and then you save, after that you need to knock off the bill. Okay, you need to check which invoices that you want to knock off, reduce the amount. Okay, so let's say lah, you have another invoice under the SASA software solution. Reason is discount given. Okay, so let's say the discount is on the socks. You want to give discount for, okay, let's say you put 4 ringgit first. Okay, and then you save. Now you want to knock off this invoice one. Okay, but you don't want to knock off full amount. So what if you want to knock off only 2 ringgit? So you edit, you change here to 2. So you knock off here 2 ringgit. Okay, and then another 2, you want to knock off this invoice. Also can. Okay, understand now? So you go to sales report, invoice document, credit note, refresh, click send, and then change to send, refresh, submitted, status is valid. Okay, so never mind, later on I'm going to check back. Okay, so done for standard e-invoice. Oh, another one. Million also allow you to submit a backdated invoices. So let's say lah, you have an invoice that you forgot to submit. You already created, but you forgot to submit. Okay. let's say this invoice is already dated 1st of May. Okay, so how you want to do in million? Okay. So let's say I have this document dated 1st May 2025. Okay, now it's already June. So is million, you can also submit a backdated date. Okay, by default, LHDN only allow you to backdate it only 3 days, but in million, you can submit more than 3 days. Okay, it allow you to submit a backdated document which is more than 3 days. So you submit, and then the submission date at the MyInvoice portal is today's date lah. Okay. Okay, you check it's already valid. Okay, when you check at your report, where's my report? Okay, so I have this document. Okay, the submission date is today's date lah. System will auto put today's date. So done for the standard e-invoice.